Okay, so today we're going to talk about healthy eating patterns. So I want you to turn to your neighbors and talk about the different sections of Choose My Plate and the foods and nutrients that you find in those different sections. So I'll give you about 3 minutes to talk about this. Okay, so are there any questions about Choose My Plate before we dive into this lesson? Okay, so this is about the making your plate, even if you have those certain sections, making those foods that you eat a little more healthier for you. So first, you want to balance your calories. So there's a specific amount of calories that you should eat that involves your age and your gender, and so you need to keep to that amount of calories. And then also, you should enjoy your food, but eat less of it. A lot of us like to just eat tons of food if it's really delicious. Like at Thanksgiving, when we just fill our plates full as high as they can go, just because the food is all so delicious. So, along with that, we need to avoid oversized portions. So, on this diagram, the first portion, that would be pretty normal for somebody. And then the next portion would be for somebody who's pretty active and who can eat quite a few more calories. But the third portion, that is a lot of food. No, normally people won't need that much food. So just consider using smaller plates so that it looks like your plate is full, because the first one looks like the plate is really empty and that you need more food. So just think about using smaller plates and bowls when you eat. And then also, in regards to eating less, your body can tell you when it's hungry and when it's full. So just listen to what your body's saying and eat when you're hungry, not if you're stressed or just for something to do. Eat when you're hungry, and then also listen to when your body's telling you that it's full so that you don't overeat and just ingest a lot more calories than you need. So next we're going to talk about foods that you should increase. So on my plate, half of the plate is fruits and vegetables. So make sure that half of your plate is fruits and vegetables. Really try hard to do that. So one tip on that is to choose red, orange, and dark green vegetables that you eat. They have a lot of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that you need. For example, like a lot of us, I think, tend to stare at computers or TVs or just electronic devices, and that can be really taxing on our eyes, make our eyes really tired. And so vitamin A is found in carrots, which vitamin A helps to strengthen our eyes, and that'll just help your eyes feel less tired and just make them more healthy. So that's one reason to eat carrots. So I want you to turn to your neighbor and talk about, list out some fruits, some vegetables that are red, orange, and dark green, just so that you have an idea of which ones you should be eating. So next we're going to talk about switching to fat-free or low-fat milk, or just anything, reducing, making it a lower fat in content. So you're going to get the same nutrients and vitamins and minerals as you will in the normal milk, but if you just reduce the fat content, then that'll make it more healthy for you. So list off some other foods, turn to your partner and list off some other foods that you have seen that you can get as a low fat that you might choose instead of the regular brand. Okay, so some that I thought of were cream cheese and peanut butter. There's wheat thins, and then ground beef as well. You can get lower fat content, which normally you can't really tell the difference. Like if you're using the ground beef in tacos, it's got the taco seasoning, so you can't. It's not that much of a difference. And then finally, make sure at least half of your grains are whole grains. Whole grains are the ones that are going to make you feel satisfied. They're the ones that will fill you up. If you feel full, it can make you eat less. So if you're always having white bread, or the bread may say wheat, but if it doesn't say whole wheat or whole grain, then it's not a whole grain. So you need to look on your packages and make sure it says whole grain. So one example you may not know is that popcorn. Popcorn is a whole grain. So you can eat popcorn and that will help fill you up. So next we're going to talk about sodium. So sodium is added to a lot of foods because we like the taste of salt. We like things that taste and not just as a taste of food, so we don't like the bland. So the sodium is not good to have in high quantity. So you should look at the food, all foods that you buy. For example, chicken and frozen meals, and choose the one that has a lower amount of sodium. In addition, you should drink water every day. I know water can be boring and bland to us. It doesn't seem to have any taste. So that's what we need. We need lots of water to keep us healthy so that we are not dehydrated and so that our body keeps getting work inside of our body. So we should reduce those sugary drinks as much as we can. We can have them once in a while, like soda or a Gatorade, but mainly focus on drinking water. In addition, think about juice. How many of you guys have juice all the time and think that it's? Tell me what you guys think about juice and how it relates to this. So, juices, some of them can be really good for you, but you will need to look at the labels on the back and just see the sugar content, which some of that is because of the fruit, but some of it can be because of added sugar to make it more sweet and just so people like it and will buy more of it. So be cautious when you consider juice as being healthy. Just look at the containers and see what it has in it. So now I want you to turn to your neighbor and talk about foods that you should reduce, and then talk about why you should reduce them, like what they have in them that you should reduce in your overall eating habits, and okay, so hopefully you guys name foods that you need to reduce because they had lots of sugar in them, or they had lots of sodium added. I know it's kind of hard because we don't have food labels, but you'll notice them if you look at the back of packages. What seems like a normal amount of salt and what is like an extreme amount of salt. So, next we're going to talk about oils. So really quick, I'm going to talk about butter and margarine and the differences. So, butter is a natural fat from cows, and then margarine is vegetable oil that has been homogenized, so it's turned into a trans fat, which that trans fat is, we can't break that down in our bodies like we can with the fat in butter. So that fat is just lining our arteries and can clog them up if we aren't being active and eating healthy. So that's what can cause heart attacks. So be careful when you think about buying margarine, because it is cheaper than butter, but it causes a few more problems than butter does. So you should normally have liquid fats like oils. Oils are better for you than butter and margarine, which are solid fats. So even though they're not a food, oils, even though they are not a food group, but they do provide essential nutrients. So you should choose oils that provide healthy fats, which are the liquid oils. And there's two groups. There's the polyunsaturated fats, and then there's also the monounsaturated fats. So the polysaturated have more chains, and so they are harder for our bodies to break down. They're still better than butter and margarine, but so these examples are vegetable oils, corn oil, soybean oil, and then monounsaturated, which are better for us, are olive oil, avocados, peanuts, and canola oil. So if you can, choose the second group, which includes like olive oils and canola oil, over the vegetable oils. And then on your worksheet, there's a little chart, so remember to write down the amount of oil that you should have. For girls, it's 5 teaspoons daily. For boys, it's about 6. So, everybody has an individual caloric need. All of us are different ages, all of us have different activity level, and then even our gender affects how much our daily calorie needs is. So we need to consider all of those factors as we're considering how much we eat. So in part of your assessment, it's going to ask you what your activity level is, and that will help you figure out how many calories you should have about each day. So, moving on to empty calories. So, empty calories are foods that have solid fats and added sugars that add calories to food but have very few or no nutrients at all. So, for example, some of these foods are candies and sodas. And those candies and sodas, they are all of those calories there are empty calories, so you're not getting any benefit from eating those. So from this chart you can see that you have a daily limit of empty calories. So it is okay to have empty calories, but most people eat far more than what is healthy. So we need to consider which foods we want in our diet and which ones we can get rid of because they aren't as good for us as we would like them to be. So just consider which foods you can't live without, that you need to have as empty calories. Or like, example, if you need a soda. If you need a soda, then that should be your empty calorie for the day. So I want you to now turn to your neighbors and just talk about the empty calories that you've maybe eaten today or in the past week that you maybe didn't need or that you can get rid of, and then talk about ways that you can reduce those and reduce the temptation of eating them. So I'll just talk about that for a minute. Okay, so some examples I thought of were dressings. Some dressings they have a lot of fat in them. So if you can just use a smaller amount of dressing than you normally do, that would help reduce those calories. As well as mayonnaise is a lot of vegetable oil. And then maybe eat just one piece of candy instead of 5, or one cookie instead of 5 cookies. Okay, so just remember to fill out your worksheet. If you have any questions, let me know just about any of these tips, and Then we'll go over the assignment.